Inspector General of Police, you have done extremely well. To allow this and I had your back. Inspector General of Police, you have done extremely well. To allow this and I had your back.
Welcome, guys. The show is Hashtags right here on VOP TV. My name is Vivian Wuche, and it's such a pleasure to have you join us. This is where we get to tell you all things trending and all things topical. Now, if this is your first time, accept a very warm welcome from us here. So we begin the show today with a news mention, right? The governor of Kano State has officially resigned from the NNPP. Just 4 days ago, we saw that he was in a closed-door meeting with President Tinubu in Abuja. And finally, the shoe has dropped, right? After weeks of speculations and all of that, back and forth between himself and his godfather, Kwankwaso, he has finally resigned, and he says it's due to internal wrangling, which is destabilizing, the party's leadership, both at the state and national level. Now, the NTA has that story as well as the cable. Let's quickly take a look at them before we move on to the next hashtag. Let's do it. Hashtag KanoGov. Let's take a look at what the NTA is saying. So NTA says, Director General Media and Publicity, Kano Government House submits Governor Yusuf's resignation to Chairman of NNPP in Diso Ward. Diso Ward is Governor Abba Yusuf's ward in Kano State. Let's take a look at the cable now. Cable says, Justin, Kano Governor Yusuf resigns from NNPP over persistent internal disputes. Abba Yusuf, Governor of Kano, has formally resigned from the New Nigeria People's Party. In a letter addressed to the chairman of Diso Chirenchi Ward in Gwale local government area of Kano, the governor cited deepening internal crisis and prolonged leadership disputes as key reasons for his exit. Now, we just wanted to let you know that this is a story that is breaking and that we'll keep our pulse on it as events unfold. We'll keep it posted because definitely the NNPP is going to be responding. He flew on the flag, on the platform of the NNPP to become the governor of Kano State. So let's see how this one pans out. We quickly move on to the major story for today, which is hashtag impeachment. So a court has put on hold all proceedings, anything about impeaching the sitting governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara'S. A court has said, no, stop it. Status quo must remain, and this is indefinitely. So all parties are heading to the appeal court. Let's take a look at the Premium Times. Premium Times did a reporting on this. Credit goes to the Premium Times, so this very first post you're about to take a look at. It says, court puts Fubara'S impeachment suit on hold as parties head to appeal court. And the Premium Times goes on to say, with the High Court stepping aside and the Chief Judge invoking judicial restraint, the impeachment push now waits on the Court of Appeal, leaving Rivers State's political crisis suspended, but far from resolved. This also just dropped this evening. And Premium Times goes on to say, a Rivers State High Court in Oyigbo local government area has halted proceedings in the impeachment suit filed by Governor Siminalayi Fubara'S and his deputy, Ngozi Odu, effectively shifting the battleground to the Court of Appeal. Justice Florence Feborosima on Friday adjourned the matter indefinitely after parties informed the court that 2 separate appeals had been entered in respect of the case. And now the Premium Times is also giving Channels TV the credit. Right, let's take a look at the next post. Arise also is jumping on this one, and he says, court adjourns Fubara'S impeachment case indefinitely. Justice Florence Feborosima of the Igbo High Court of Rivers State, sitting in Port Harcourt, has adjourned indefinitely the suit filed by Governor Siminalayi Fubara'S and his deputy, Professor Ngozi Odu, challenging the impeachment processes against them by the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Martin Amaule, 26 other members of the House, and the clerk of the House. So netizens are responding. Let's begin to take a look at their responses now. So Christo says, while the indefinite adjournment of the impeachment suit highlights the deep-seated political instability currently facing Rivers State, it reinforces my belief that a steady, visionary leader like Tonya Cole is the right candidate to restore order and progress come 2027. Eureka says, the lower court has simply washed his hands of the case. The appeal court will order the CJ to constitute the panel within 48 hours before further or cross appeal. Wike will finish now. Frank Elago says, at Grok, what does this mean? Well, I dare to respond, Frank, that this means status quo remains. Let's continue to take a look at the responses now, shall we? So, Ijoma Augustina says, everybody is just dragging power up and down. This is no longer about Rivers people. It's about who controls power and who gets crushed. Pure survival of the most powerful faction. Rivers State deserves better than this circus. We must get it right in 2027. And then Pragmatic DB. Whoa, Pragmatic, it's been a while. But it goes on to say, game of time, and he laughs. This will be a sweet song to the ears of Fubara'S sympathizers, he says. And Wike should just let Fubara be. And if Wike, wants to get even, he can mobilize against Fubara in 2027 in Rivers State. And then finally, Oba says, Fubara takes the lead again. That takes us to the next hashtag, which is hashtag spiritual problem. And it's still tied to this whole drama in Rivers State. So, I was going to say governor. Is it going to be a governor in the future? Who knows? I'm talking about Pastor David Ibiyome of Salvation Ministries. He came on board to say that this thing unfolding in Rivers State right now is a spiritual problem. C'est fini. I'm just going to take you to X now so you take a look at the post. That's going to lead us to what the pastor has to say and how netizens are responding to his comments. Hashtag spiritual problem. Pat Hacker Social says, no mortal man, I repeat, can solve the problem of Rivers State. It's not a physical problem. Has the president been able to solve it? Pastor David Ibiyome says, as he prays for peace in Rivers State. Take a listen, guys.
If God speaks to me, I will say it. No mortal man, I repeat, can solve the problem of Rivers State. No mortal man. It's not a physical problem. Has the president been able to solve it? No. I'll give you the story so you know I'm a man of God. George was a governor. Odile was under him. Odile and him fought. Odile was his boy. Odile, Amechi was his boy. Amechi and Odile fought. Amechi, Wike was his boy. Wike and Odile, Amechi fought. Simfra was a boy to make it. Wike and him are fighting. It can never be solved by any physical mess except by the hand of God. There is no physical mess because it's not a physical problem. Even if sin picks somebody today, the person will fight him. It's a spiritual problem. But I stand in my office today and I declare that curse broken in the name of Jesus. They have tried all means. Even the president have not been able. No mortal man told me, but today, market, I decree that curse broken right now. In the name of Jesus. Whatever has followed. Because if God speaks to me, I will say it. No mortal man, I repeat, can solve the problem of Rivers State. No mortal man. It's not a physical problem. Has the president been able to solve it? No.
Pastor Ibiyome praying for peace in Rivers State. So netizens are latching onto the phrase, no mortal man. Some of them are asking that, okay, so this prayers, or the prayer has been made, prayer has been offered. Does this mean there will be peace in the state now? But on the other hand, some netizens are saying, no, it is not spiritual, it is physical. Hey, let's see how it is panning out. Hashtag spiritual problem. Let's take a look at the responses. Yeah. So Uchanya says, so Wike and Fubara will not fight against each other again since the yoke is broken. Now, I don't know if this is a question or this is a statement, but hey, you just read it the way you want to take it, yeah? The next one says, Killigan. This is Killigan. I hope it is finally broken. No. The next one, let's take a look at it. So IK says, take out one man and the problem is solved. It's a very physical problem. The next one. Ochai Victor Owecho says, it's a pattern, but Wike thinks he can break the chain. More reactions? Alex87 says, God has no hand in what's happening, and there is nothing mystical about Rivers' crisis. It can be easily resolved. So it is different strokes for different folks. But let's see how this particular one pans out. I think it was last 2 weeks, we did bring you a video of Governor Fubara attending one of Pastor David Ebiyome's program. So it looks like he's also someone who attends that church a lot, as well as other churches. We see him going to church all the time. But we keep our fingers crossed to see how this particular one pans out. Now, the next hashtag is still tied to Rivers State. It is hashtag 001. So presidential aide Daniel Bwala today came on board to say, okay, so he was on a televised interview yesterday. And today, the headlines are just blasting. Fubara, 001, Wike is not in the APC. He's not a member of the party, so he's not a leader of the party and all. Like I said, presidential aide, President Tinubu's presidential aide, Daniel Bwala, came out to say that his principle follows the rule of law and is aligning with what the national chairman of the APC has said, that Fubara, who is a member of the APC and the governor of Rivers State, is the #1 person when it comes to that party in the state. Let's take a look at the first post. And of course, netizens will be replying in a short while. The first post now, let's take a look at it. Yeah, credit goes to the cable for it. Voila, Fubara is APC leader in Rivers. Wike has been compensated. So this is two-edged, guys. First, he's settling the supremacy tussle. And then two, he's saying Wike has been compensated. It goes on to say, Daniel Bwala, this is the cable now, saying Daniel Bwala, special advisor to President Bola Tinubu on policy communication, says his principle aligns with the position of Nentawe Yilwada. That's a mouthful. I always slow it down when I'm pronouncing that name. So it goes on to say, Daniel Bwala, a special advisor to President Bola Tinubu on policy communication, says his principle aligns with the position of Nentawe Yilwada, national chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC, on the leadership hierarchy in Rivers State. Bwala's remarks come as the Rivers House of Assembly continues impeachment proceedings against Siminalayi Fubara amid a renewed war of words between the governor and Nyesom Wike, his predecessor. Let's take a look at the next page. Goes on to say, Bwala also addressed concerns over Wike's influence within the federal government, noting that appointments do not supersede national interest. Quote, we've heard people complain that as a cabinet member, Wike enjoys certain benefits. And then he goes on to say that Wike has been adequately compensated. The president believes in compensating people, but not at the expense of the interest of Nigeria. President Bola Tinubu gives latitude, but once you cross the line, you will know. End of quote. Guys, are you scratching my head? Let's just leave that post there on the screen. Are you scratching my head the way I'm scratching my head? He said, one, that the president believes in compensating people, and he said Wike has been compensated. He also said the president does not believe in letting people, do whatever they want to do at the expense of the nation. But this last one that he said, President Bola Tinubu gives latitude, but once you cross the line, you will know. Is this lending credence to what some people are saying online, some netizens are saying online, that President Tinubu has wielded the heavy stake and has thrown the FCT minister Nyesom Wike under the bus? Could this be it? I'm just saying. Let's take a look at the next post now as we continue to scratch the surface of this one. This is Ima Aikume, who says, President Tinubu affirms Governor Fubara'S leadership of APC in Rivers State as the leader of the party. And then Ima Aik goes on to say Wike will be crying this evening. Let's continue to take a look at more reactions. So, dear Omo, or should I just settle for dear OMO? Dear OMO says, Nigerians want Akpabio National Assembly to work and put Tinubu's administration on his toes and check them. But they don't want that in Rivers State. Let me start again. Nigerians want Akpabio's National Assembly to work and to put Tinubu's administration on its toes and to check them. But they do not want that in Rivers State. Nigerians do not hate oppressors or impunity. Nigerians only hate it if it's not done by them or someone they like. I think dear OMO does not like the way things are unfolding. Diana Abbasi says, being a leader of a party doesn't stop one from being impeached as a governor. Who they even struggle party leadership with him? Well, at some point, we heard him and his former godfather, exchanging words. His former godfather said he wasn't the leader of the party. He said he was the leader of the party. There you go. Christo says he probably should have let the man unpack his bags and recover from the London jet lag before dropping that bombshell. He's definitely got enough on his plate right now. I think Christo is referring to the FCT minister who, it's been reported, just came back from London. Let's take a look at more reactions, shall we? So Niger Town says Tinubu just wielded the stick publicly against Wike. This is the beginning of the decline of Wike's political dynasty in Rivers. The master player has just been played by the grand master. When it comes to corporate politics, it is hard to outplay a Yoruba man. And then V says party leadership should ideally reflect consensus, unity, and grassroots confidence. Rivers APC still has a lot of internal healing to do, and that process must be handled carefully if the party truly wants to win back public trust. I think V has a good head on her shoulder, I can say that. You do remember that a chieftain of the, I'm trying to remember his name, a chieftain of the APC was on another televised interview not too long ago. Mr. Moka, the the spokesman of the APC, was on another televised interview not too long ago, and he came out to say that the APC national chairman does not align with what the APC chairman in Rivers State is saying as regards who is the leader of the party in the state. So I think the APC, both at the national level and at the state level, we have to come together and get their story straight so that Nigerians will know which one to follow. Is it Boala or is it Moka? We need to know really what the truth is. Now, still on this matter, the next hashtag is hashtag #SackWike It's still tied to Rivers State. So some protesters, APC youths is what it's called, staged a protest in Abuja today, a number of them. And what is their grouse? They are saying that the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, has disrespected APC leaders, and they are asking for President Tinubu to sack him. Now, some people are asking, is this request even valid? Some people are asking, is it a valid request? Is it doable? Can President Tinubu do it? Or maybe the question is, will President Tinubu do it? You do remember that not too long ago, we had a number of APC leaders also do, they staged a protest. It was a rally, a protest, whichever you want to call it, in Abuja. And they also said the same thing, sack Wike now. They went on to say that the president should choose between the APC and Wike. So it looks like the president is in a tight corner right now. But let's go online. We'll take a look at the first post, and then the next, and then the next, as we see how this particular hashtag is panning out. Yeah, so Nigeria Story says, President Bola Tinubu, sack Wike now. Youths stage protest at APC headquarters in Abuja. Demand Wike's removal over alleged disrespect to APC leaders. Let's take a look at the reactions now. So we begin with Dami O. Dami O says, we know this is sponsored and Tinubu will not dare. Even if I do not like Wike's method of politicking, it will be suicidal for Tinubu to sack him. Atta Daniel says, why do I feel like this is a sponsored protest? What has Wike done this time? We all know the sponsors, not pointing fingers though. Calvin of Web3 says, when has protests ever worked in this country? We won't learn, is what he said. More reactions? This is it's funny, it's hilarious. I just thought you should take a look at it. You do know the actor, comedian, right? So this is Equilibrium, and he says, has the cameraman taking their pictures? I do not even know what Equilibrium is even talking about. So I'm just going to move on to the other reactions now. So Tiger says, this is a strong and clear show of public pressure. The youths protesting at the APC headquarters and demanding that President Tinubu sack Wike over alleged disrespect shows how serious the internal party crisis has become. If the party leadership ignores this, it could deepen divisions and create more instability within the APC. This situation is likely to escalate unless a clear resolution is reached soon. Comrade UMJ says, in the end, there will be fighting over stipends while their coordinators go home stuffed with Naira notes. Nigerian youths, when are you going to learn? Kachi says, this kind of request, is it even possible? Finally, Big Daddy Spot says, oh yeah, now, the politics have started. If I know the FCT minister, and I do not claim to know him, we might be getting some response from him soon. But who knows? Maybe he's changed his modus operandi. He just might, let this one slide. And what do you think the president is going to do? Or do you think the president has already done something? Because his aide, like we saw earlier on, Daniel Bwala, came out to say that his principle aligns with what the party, the APC national chairman has said, that Fubara is the leader of the APC in Rivers State. So let's continue to watch and see how this drama unfolds. And of course, we will keep you posted. Now, talking about keeping you posted, one of the hashtags we did last week was hashtags contractors. Now, contractors of the finance ministry, yes, contractors that worked for the finance ministry staged a protest in Abuja last week, and it was all over the place. We showed you clips of it. We showed you netizens responding to it. There was one very lengthy one from I Occupy Nigeria who said, okay, so monies have been borrowed. Lots of monies have been borrowed, and they say it's for infrastructural development. How come the contractors have not been paid? What is going on? Where is the money? Who is doing this to Nigeria and all? There was so much agitation. But it looks like everything is okay now. At least that's what they're telling us. The finance ministry has come out to say that these contractors, those who have actually done their job and those who have been verified to be legit contractors have been paid. The cable has it, and then we have another tweet too from the finance ministry itself. So let's go online now, shall we? Yeah, thank you. Cable says, after protests, the federal government pays 152 billion naira to contractors for verified projects. The federal government says it has disbursed 152 billion naira to contractors for verified contracts. In a statement on Thursday, Doris Uzoka-Anite, Minister of State for Finance, said the payments were subjected to rigorous verification in line with extant laws and regulations. Now, let's take a look at that tweet by Doris Uzoka-Anite. This is she. Honorable Dr. Doris Nkirika Uzoka-Anite, MD, CFA, says, I wish to confirm that the Federal Ministry of Finance has disbursed a total of 152 billion naira to contractors for verified contracts. Every payment undergoes a rigorous verification in accordance with extant laws and regulations, ensuring the protection of taxpayers' funds and upholding accountability and transparency. And then she goes on to say the ministry acknowledges the financial pressures that delays in payment may have placed on contractors. And then she goes on to say, we remain committed to continuous dialogue and engagement, seeking effective resolutions to all conflicts. We also call on all contractors to respect the processes and personnel of the ministry who have shown unwavering dedication despite facing varying degrees of intimidation and harassment. The ministry assures all contractors of our ongoing support and reiterates that all payment requests will continue to be processed in line with due process, timely and consistently. Let's take a look at the concluding page now of this particular post by the Honorable Minister. Okay, I understand that that's all we have. Well, I think the next thing we would hear from her, if we see the full thing, is a thank you. So this is also another news mention to let you know that the issues have been resolved. That's how we do it. We follow the hashtags until we reach, a conclusion, until there is closure. We move on to another one that happened in Lagos today. There was another ghastly accident at Otedola Bridge, the same Otedola Bridge. So it is hashtag Otedola Bridge. Now, last night's reporting on this, Trending Explained has the story as well. There's also a silent film. I'll show you that in a short while. But first, let's take a look at Trending Explained that has a meaty angle to this particular story. Hashtag Otedola Bridge. Trending Explained says Otedola Bridge is trending because two heavy trailers struggling for road crashed, leaving both drivers injured, one dead and another flour truck. This is happening exactly 2 weeks after a tomato truck crashed into a family of four, all narrowly escaping unscathed. This morning, two trucks, one carrying granite and the other sand, were recklessly contesting for right-of-way when they lost control and collided. The impact pushed the trucks to flip and crash, leaving both drivers seriously injured and trapped in the debris. Both drivers were pulled out of the wreckage, but the sand truck driver was badly hurt, rushed to a general hospital at Ikeja by Lagos State Ambulance Service, where he was confirmed dead. Interestingly, a few meters away, another truck conveying flour somehow lost control and tumbled, adding to the existing casualty, triggering a gridlock as far as Long Bridge. The road was finally cleared for normal vehicular movement around 3 p.m., some 4:30 a.m. I'm trying to wrap my head around that last statement now. What does some 4:30 a.m. mean? Well, let's go on to the next page now, concluding part of this story. And it goes on to say the bridge has become notorious for freak accidents, from container tipping to tanker exploding to brake failures. About 8 months ago, a family of 3 was killed when an Audi collided with a truck. In June 2018, one of the deadliest accidents happened on the bridge. A tanker exploded, killing at least 12 people, destroying properties in millions, worth millions, and scores of vehicles. Just 2 days before Christmas last month, a loaded tanker lost control and crashed into 4 vehicles, badly damaging them and leaving 2 persons critically injured. Same December, a heavy-duty container truck flipped and collided with another truck. Luckily, it happened at night when the road usage was at its lowest. Nigerians continue to call for spiritual consultation for the bridge, as it records more fatalities than Third Mainland Bridge. Third Mainland Bridge being the longest in West Africa and one of the longest in Africa. The second longest in Africa, I think. Let's take a look at the post that Lasma put up now. So Lasma says, trapped trailer operator loses life in fatal Otedola Bridge collision, prompting immediate emergency intervention and extensive traffic diversion by Lasma. Goes on to say, a tragic road traffic catastrophe involving multiple articulated vehicles occurred earlier today at Otedola Bridge in Ward Secretariat along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, temporarily crippling vehicular movement and prompting an urgent, well-coordinated, multi-agency emergency intervention. The principal incident involved a violent collision between two heavy-duty trailers, one laden with sand and the other conveying granite, reportedly occasioned by a reckless contest for right-of-way. The forceful impact led to devastating consequences, resulting in the entrapment of the driver of the sand-laden trailer, who sustained fatal injuries and was later confirmed dead. Now, the next page, you see where authorities are cautioning drivers. Let's take a look at it now. Operatives of the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority LASTMA rescue team, while on routine national surveillance and incident monitoring, responded with commendable alacrity. The trapped victim was professionally extricated and immediately transferred to personnel of the Lagos State Ambulance Service, who conveyed him to the General Hospital Ikeja, where he was pronounced dead. The driver of the second trailer was rescued alive and remarkably escaped unhurt. In a related development, another traffic incident was recorded approximately 50 meters from the primary crash site, where a separate trailer fully loaded with flour lost stability and overturned, further aggravating traffic congestion along the already compromised corridor. To forestall a breakdown of law and order and ensure public safety, security operatives from the Alausa Police Division were promptly deployed to the scene to provide adequate security cover, manage crowd control, and support ongoing rescue and recovery operations. Let's take a look at the next one. And then it goes on to say that cumulatively, the incidents obstructed nearly 80% of the carriageway, thereby compelling the implementation of extensive traffic control and diversion measures. But it also continues to say that consequently, motorists traveling inward Lagos from Mowe, Kara Bridge and Redemption Camp axis were redirected through the Ojodu Olole route, connecting Agidingbi, Coca-Cola, Secretariat and 7-Up to enable continued movement towards Bagada or Ojota with minimal inconvenience. Goes on to say Special Advisor to the Governor on Transportation, Honorable Sholagiwa, described the crashes as deeply regrettable and largely preventable, attributing them to impatience, indiscipline, and the refusal of drivers to yield appropriately on the expressway. He stressed that the strict compliance with traffic regulations and the observance of mutual courtesy among motorists remain indispensable in averting such needless loss of life. Let's take a look at the silent film now while I walk you through the pictures you're going to be seeing. So that is one of the fallen trucks. And you see lots of commuters walking their way to their destination. That was in the heat of it when the traffic was really, really at its highest. You'd also see responders, attending to those hot. Now, that is the gridlock we were talking about earlier on. Have you ever been trapped in a gridlock on that particular bridge? It is hellish, I can tell you that. But you can see now that the traffic is flowing, like LASTMA reported. Credit goes to Trending Explained for this particular one. Also, kudos to authorities for promptly responding. We've been seeing a number of cases where they respond instantly and, fatalities are averted. We hope this continues this way. And that's how we wrap it up on that particular hashtag. The next hashtag now, can we move on to the next one, which is hashtag #ObiCubana. So there is a group that the first son, talking about Sheyi Tinubu, the son of our president, Bola Tinubu, there's a group, a political group that he created. And we hear that #ObiCubana allegedly has been appointed as the Southeast coordinator of this group. Now, I'm going to take you straight online so you see Yaba Left Online that is reporting this breaking news. It is breaking. And according to responses from netizens, a number of people are not happy with this development. It is hashtag #ObiCubana. Let's go online now so you see how this one is panning out. Yaba Left Online says, 2027, #ObiCubana appointed Southeast coordinator of the City Boy movement constituted by Sheyi Tunumbu. Now, how are netizens responding to this particular one? Let's take a look. Daniel Rega says, this is a slap on the faces of the Igbos. Update boy says, oh yeah, make una go in IG begin swear for him and his family as una they do for others. Jules Ebi says, Obi Kubana or Obi Kubans is a proper businessman. You can't expect him to say no to money-related offer. And then Mazi Chukwebuka says, make a post for his Instagram page, then leave his comment open first. So that's how it is panning out. If you go to this particular story and you know, take a look, a really close look at the comments, it is savage, I can tell you that. As I just thought to pull up these ones. But hey, we will continue to investigate. When I was introducing it, I'm sure you listened to me use the word allegedly. So we'll continue to investigate this development and keep you posted as it unfolds. Now, let's move on to something else we've been following all through the week. The next hashtag is hashtag speed. Full I show speed. The influencer, very mega influencer, was in Nigeria yesterday. But as we speak right now, he is in Benin Republic. So yesterday we showed you videos of how himself and his bodyguard snubbed a very popular TikToker, Pella. Pella struggled to get his attention but was unable to. So Olamide now said this same speed that snubbed Pella once upon a time actually tried to get the attention of Ronaldo, and someone helped him to get Ronaldo's attention. And he put up a video. But first, let's take a look at the post that Olamide put up. Olamide is saying life now step by step. He says, this was I show speed when he met Ronaldo. This life is step by step. Pella will also get there one day. They put up this video. Take a look, guys.
Take a picture. Take a picture. Take a picture, please, please. Oh my God, I love you, bro. Bro, yes, bro. Hey, I love you, bro. But now I'm a big fan. Sue. Ronaldo, look. I got you right here. Hey, wait, Suey. Ronaldo, Suey. Give me Suey. I love you, bro. Can you take a picture? Take a picture. Can you take a picture? Oh my God, bro. Did you read that? Okay, I'm sorry. Oh my God. I love you so much.
And as well as the Federal Road Safety Corps. So we also have the men of the Nigerian Police Force all trying to synergize to make sure traffic is well maintained.
Did you catch the part where Ronaldo was telling him, relax, and was tapping him on his shoulder? It's crazy, yeah. But this was way before speed became big. I mean, he was in Nigeria here a couple of days ago on his birthday. We brought you the story, yeah, where he clocked 50 million subscribers on YouTube. That's massive, guys. It is mind-boggling. And like some news publications will say, he is the first black man to actually clinch that title or that position or that fate, you know, whatever, however you want to say it. But people are responding to what Olamide put up, the video and his post. Let's take a look at the responses now, shall we? Yeah, so Crypto Sniper Lord. Gosh, how do people come up with these names? Okay, it's also Crypto Ambassador. And it says, Nigerians can just be emotional to simple life matters. Pella does not have coordination nor the intelligence for approach. Do you think I Show Speed does not do his research, properly well before coming out? Is it not same I Show Speed that gave Jarvis an audience? Oh, we saw that. Actually, it wasn't a robot. It was Jarvis, yeah. Make una tell Pella the truth. At this point, he needs a little bit of education. It's what Crypto Sniper Lord, a.k.a. Crypto Ambassador, is saying. Dede Chuk says there's a difference. You can see Raphael there. He mediated their meeting, Raphael being the person that introduced Speed to Ronaldo. Pella's team and manager had every time to schedule and arrange a meetup with Speed. Can't say if it's ignorance or media cloud chase to keep himself trending. He could have easily organized a run track game, bring in 3 or 4 guys who can run to compete with Speed, tag them, Lagos fastest man, easy collab. So that's how netizens are actually responding to this particular one. I don't know how you want to respond to it, but hey, it is what it is. And it looks like Jarvis actually had the icing on the cake on this one. And it looks like she's climbing the ladders. If you go online, there's a video of Jarvis celebrating some milestone she just reached when it comes to streaming and popularity. In the meantime, Pella is crying foul and is pointing fingers at some people. But hey, they say negative publicity is publicity. Yeah, it looks like he's in the news, and I think it's what he wants. But hey, let's move away from that. I want for you to take a look at this very beautiful post by West Ham United. That's our next hashtag, as they celebrated one of the very gallant Senegalese fighters. I'm talking about, the Senegal team that just won the AFCON trophy. It is massive. West Ham United put up this post and then a video, and netizens are responding to it. Let's quickly take a look at it now. It is hashtag West Ham United. So West Ham United says, a very warm welcome for our AFCON chairman. And then they put, oh my God, AFCON champion. I'm almost chewing my tongue. Take a look, guys. This has got millions of views and raving commentaries underneath it. I can tell you, it is catching positive reactions from netizens, both at home and abroad. And I'd like for you to take a look at the reactions, because they're saying, look, this is humanity at its finest. No issue of skin color, no issue of IQ, no issue of this or that, all those divisive elements that human beings come up with. Let's take a look at the reactions now, shall we? It is hashtag West Ham United. Let's take a look at the reactions. Yeah, so M. Khalid says, this is pure class from West Ham. And then he's applauding them. A guard of honor for Malik Diop. That is his name. A guard of honor for Malik Diop after Senegal's AFCON triumph is respect done right. Moments like that go beyond club football. It's about acknowledging achievement, pride, and what it means to represent a country at the highest level. Shows that AFCON is big deal right now, I can tell you. Shorari says, all the welcome videos I have seen confirm the humility of these Senegalese boys, worthy winners. Charles A. Adeyemi says, love to West Ham. And then Mr. AY says, congrats, champ. More reactions? All right, Jabulani. Oh, Jabulani, Africa. Yeah, Jabulani says, just look at the warm welcome the Europeans are giving Africans compared to the farewell the Moroccans gave to their fellow African countries. Jabulani, that is a good point. It is valid. Yeah, thank you. And then Toliso and Lebello says, we love to see such. Now, I'm not going to embellish this with any commentaries, just not to, detract from it. It's just beautiful, and we appreciate what West Ham, as well as a number of other clubs, have been doing to, these gallant guys that performed so well at AFCON. On that note, we'll wrap it up. I've got to say thanks to everyone who contributed to making the show a success. But the bigger thanks goes to you guys for watching. If you liked it, why don't keep it dead again with us, same time, same station next week. Hashtags right here for another edition. Until then, I am Vivian Oguche, and take care of you. Bye.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpehon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, please the sport.
And it's Hakim Ziyech who puts the
Idumota Market is a market located on Lagos Island, a suburb and local government area of Lagos State. It is one of the oldest and arguably one of the largest markets in West Africa, with thousands of lock-up shops occupying various buildings in the market. The market, along with Alaba International Market, are major distribution hubs for home videos and music in Lagos State, and one of the biggest in Nigeria. Idumota Market is so popular that large sales are recorded as early as 7 a.m. The market is made up of multiple story buildings, with some measuring about 5 or more floors. In 2010, the Lagos State government demolished some illegal structures in order to improve vehicular and human movement in and around the market. During weekdays, the neighborhood of Idumota is densely populated by shoppers, traders, and bus passengers. From the Carter Bridge ascending into Lagos Island, passengers can see the neighborhood before disembarking at their final destination. Idumota was previously the location of an armed forces remembrance cenotaph called Soja Idumota, built as a monument to Nigerian soldiers who served with the West African Frontier Force. An Eyo Masquerade statue and a clock tower are also some monuments at Idumota.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People television.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People television. Now you have more than a voice.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe. Hunger no get religion.
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand. The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our